Hey ladies and gentlemen, sorry I haven't posted many videos in the past couple of days. I ordered a new microphone. Should come in the mail soon, and I've had a lot of busy days on my work schedule, but I'm back to making videos. Next couple weeks are going to be a little difficult for me due to work and travel and stuff, but if you're new to my channel, thanks for stopping by and checking it out. Really appreciate it. All the views and stuff. I've been stuck to my phone looking at all the views, and it's nice. I actually feel like I'm getting somewhere with this channel. It makes me happy. All you guys are here with me. But let's start this story. The Light Above the Pond by The Scythe 65. About 3 years ago, during the summer, I had the closest experience to something supernatural that I've ever had. I was 15, living in rural Georgia, and I had never had a run-in with ghosts or spirits or any of that jazz. It wasn't that I didn't believe in it, it's just I never experienced it and had my doubts when it come to full-fledged materialization of supernatural beings. But that summer changed me. It was the summer after my freshman year of high school, only a few weeks into June after school had let out. It was around midnight, and I was laying in bed watching a movie when I noticed it out of the corner of my eye. A pale blue light, very small and at a distance from my house. At first it meant nothing to me, and I figured it was a neighbor's house through the woods across the stream. Then I remembered the only thing in the woods across the stream is a secluded pond. I crawled to the ledge of my bed and watched it, studied it, and estimated that it had to be at least 2 to 3 stories off the ground, as I still had to look up a bit at it in my second-story bedroom. I stared at it for what seemed like hours, mesmerized by how bright such a small thing could be until I succumbed to my tiredness. I woke up the next morning in the same watching position from the night before, and of course the light was gone. After breakfast, I took a walk across the street and investigated the quaint little pond, only to find the same overgrowth and irritable family of snapping turtles that had always inhabited it, but no house. No light fixtures, nothing. I confronted my parents about it, and of course they brushed it off like it was nothing like typical parents would do. They assumed it simply the neighbor's house or a hunter's spotlight, and they would have me convinced that that's what it was. I had not seen it again until the following night, and every subsequent night for the next month. After a week, I had grown fond of the light. It was calming, as I never wavered from side to side, never shimmered, it just glowed. Rather than watching TV until I got tired, I watched the little pale blue light until my eyes grew heavy. It was only after the first week that I noticed something offsetting. About halfway through the second week that I had been watching it, I noticed that the light seemed somewhat brighter than when it first caught my eye. That is the moment when I realized it was no longer hovering behind a few trees above the pond. It was now at the tree line, unobstructed from my view. It sent chills down the back of my spine, and hairs stood on my neck as I made this observation. I turned away from the window and lay with my eyes closed, but I couldn't sleep as I felt the light pouring in my window. I felt nervous, as if someone was watching me and they were angry that I wasn't watching back. In the following weeks, I could feel the light inching ever closer, and I refused to watch its slow, eerie surge towards my window. I spent night after night staring at the wall. I would go hours into the night without sleeping, and if I never knew if it was sheer tiredness or the mercy of the light that finally let me drift off to sleep some nights. I never told people why I was so tired. Who would believe me? Finally, one night in mid-July, curiosity got the better of me, and I turned to face the window. I wish I never had. Roughly 20 feet from my window I saw it, the light. Except this time, it did not shine bright. It was a dull, pale blue little orb, roughly the size of a golf ball, just sitting perfectly still outside my window. I gazed at it, not knowing if I should feel scared or sanctified. That's when I finally decided it was time to confront it. I had to know what this thing was and why it had made its way into my life. I tiptoed downstairs, out the front door, and broke into a sprint around the side of my house where my bedroom was. Nothing. It was gone. I looked for it night after night, and I felt relieved and at the same time saddened that it had left me. Maybe it was some lonely soul looking for someone to share the night with, I told myself. Or maybe it was trying to lure me in with its tranquil glow like a siren of the woods. It wasn't until late November that I received my next and final visit. It was late, and I had resumed my normal routine of watching TV until I fell asleep. And I felt it. That same eerie feeling that someone was watching me. I turned to my window and instantly felt sick. I saw the light, as dull as I had seen it, slowly moving back and forth across the window. I felt my heart jump into my throat, seeing it up close. It was just bright enough for me to make out its spherical shape. I stared at it as it gracefully moved over the window pane in all different directions. I slowly reached over to the window, and when my hand came within an inch of the window, the light ceased to move. I paused. As I let my hand touch the spot on the window where the light had come to rest, I got a numb sensation in my arm like it had fallen asleep. I instantly pulled my hand away and looked to find the source of this strange feeling. Then I discovered in a brief second that I looked away, the light had vanished. To this day, I don't know what to think about my experience with the light. After giving it some thought, I think the last night I saw it, it was trying to get into my room. There will always be one question that sits in the back of my mind. What would have happened if it did?